Yeah. I thought you did.
Yeah.
Well, I'll mute you. Okay, I'm gonna mute mine.
I'm on mute.
Turn your sound down though. So you're on. Or I turn mine down, leave it on, and just take it off mute.
What?
Just take it off mute. Okay, we'll use yours. Oh, hi.
Hi, I just turned my, I just mine off, but. So she can't, I just took the camera part off.
Are you on? Well, I will put it on. Are you on sound? You're
I'm on unmuted.
okay. So I'm muted, so we won't get that off.
Are you want to start video? Are you?
Oh, I haven't started it yet.
Those are cute.
Thank you.
And the citronella, where'd you get those?
Online?
Where? You just Google citronella candles?
Yeah.
I want some.
There were 4 of them. You take one if you like.
No, I'm not gonna take one with you in your bites.
Oh, Paulette sent me a link.
For what?
Mosquito vector control. You wouldn't believe the places that they can breathe. I'm pretty sure it was nice. Pots out here that water sat in because of all the rain. And it might have come in the bedroom too, because I air in the bathroom. Yeah. It might have been in the bathroom too, because I had some water sitting in a couple of those pots. But those pots have all been dried out and wiped out.
Yeah.
So I haven't had any bites in a couple of days. So hopefully we'll have to. You're gonna have to help me drain these, but no point in doing it until tomorrow. What time is it? Interesting.
And get up in the middle. I
think it may be your.
Hi.
Oh, maybe that's not going to work with that. I see it. Kind of blocks the view. What? The stand I put it on.
My stand up itself.
Yeah, well, it was just a different angle.
I think. Yeah.
you.
Hello there.
Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Shannon.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Let's try to figure. I can't see. I can't see.
Have it be multiple people there. You want to have everybody on the, it's on the phone probably.
Yeah, but I want to make sure you can see me.
Yes, well, let me, oh, you want you pick out your music here. Right there. Righty. And.
And it.
And
Oh, there it is. That is set up.
Okay, maybe turn mine so it shows on. And I'll just keep this here, but they send you to turn it on.
There you go. Okay.
Hey, everybody. So grab a blanket and like a towel or whatever you want. Oh, look at you have everything, and then blocks or a block. Oh, look at you two. You know you're on a split screen. How cute are you two? I love that.
We have two iPads.
Oh, I love that. And you're not getting feedback either.
Well, we've got one of them muted. Can you see us both?
Oh, I do. Yep, I see that. So Katie, yours is muted, right?
Oh, you can
Okay,
see us.
great. Perfect. All right.
Now we know how people spy on other people when they're.
I know, right? I know. We did last night, we did a Seder with my husband's family on the East Coast. Like we had people in where? We had Pittsburgh, Connecticut, Los Angeles. And it was, except for the Connecticut people who had bad reception, it was fun.
A lot of people did that last night. I have a friend who did. She had 25 people for Seder, all with their iPads.
Yeah, that's impressive. We didn't have 24. Well, we had, I don't know, 20.
It's fun though.
It was fun. It was really sweet, and it's fun that it's my mother-in-law was supposed to be here now for Passover, and she's in New Jersey, and we were all together. Even my nephew, who was a frontline doctor in Pittsburgh, was able to join us, which was nice. But my niece, who was a doctor, was sleeping, so we thought she earned it. Okay, so. We have the blanket. What I want you to do is I want you to roll up the blanket, and we're going to come to lie on it on our stomachs. Ted, I feel like you can't see me here, honey. Get my husband to do some. I feel like you can't see me here when I'm on my mat here.
Well, you want a little bit more height there.
So I'm going to have you take your blanket. You're so good. You have like really good. I was like, oh, I'm not going to have real props in case no one has it, but you two have like the gold star. I want you to roll up your blanket. We're going to come to lie on it. So the blanket, the roll can be as thick or thin as you need it to be. Good. All right. Now you're going to come to, I think I'm going to make mine actually a little, not thinner, but a tighter roll, because that's just what I'm in the mood for today. And you're going to come to lie on it. We've done this before in class. You're going to come to lie on it, and it's going to, Ted, can you fix it now? It's crooked, honey. So you want to come to lie on it and have the roll be just below your navel. Ted, What's the point of having a television producer husband if you can't get tech support? Alrighty, that's better. Okay, so you're gonna come to lie. Now here's the thing, I don't want it on the bottom floating ribs. So think like below the navel and above the pubis bone, like in that area. Now, once you've done that and you come to lie on there, then fix it so it's comfortable and make a decision if you need it to be thinner or thicker, or maybe you don't have it, maybe you get rid of it altogether. And I'm trying to relax into the psoas, into activating and opening the psoas muscle. And you can just rest your head on one side. And if it's not quite there, you could even roll around a little bit till your belly gets used to it. Because also what this does is it helps you figure out how to really relax in the abdominals. Okay, so let me see how you're doing with it. How's it feeling?
Pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, okay, great. That looks really good. Now, this is what's important is that you recognize now if you're resisting this, because the idea is to completely relax through these layers of abdominal muscle and tissue so that we can get to the psoas. But because this is not a position we're used to being in, or we can resist it and we can kind of grip and hold on. So your work in this is to let go and to completely relax. And the breath is passive. You don't have to worry about doing any active or directed ujjayi.
Do this for the whole hour.
So I can't really see, but if you're resting on one side of your face, maybe you'll switch to the other. You don't have to, but just so that you're getting, it's an opportunity for passive stretch on one side of the neck. So now notice if you can contribute to this surrender by consciously relaxing in the jaw and in your face. In front of your throat. And just let your awareness now sort of move into the belly. And again, that's like, to me, the opportunities for release, that layered release, are endless. So you can keep concentrating on the release, the letting go. And just feel a softening of the glutes, the pelvic floor, the legs. Nice. Bring your hands now. Start to draw the hands underneath your shoulders. And come up slowly to all fours. And you can keep the blanket there. Just come up to all fours really slow. Okay, and then start to move through cat-cow. So here I do want you to bring in some ujjayi breath. And again, just keep the blanket there, because actually you're going to go back onto it. But I want you to just move through nice. Move through cat-cow, pace of your breath. Start to breathe, inhaling and exhaling in the soft palate, the back of your throat. Now bring yourself back down onto your belly, back onto your blanket, just like you were doing it. Draw the hands back by your shoulders again. Let's come back up to all fours, nice and slow. And again, you can keep the blanket there, and then we move back through cat-cow. Use the next breath, inhale or exhale, to bring you back to just the more neutral spine, holding it here. And then just start to shift your hips from side to side. Let the shoulders move in the direction of the hips so that you're getting a little bit of side body, side spine movement here. Bring yourself back to the center. Open up the knees a little bit wider, feet stay close together. Inhale, open up the right arm. And exhale, scoop that right arm underneath. I still want you to keep the blanket here. If you need to scooch it, but you're gonna use it pretty soon, so just keep it there. But slide the right arm underneath and hold it. The hips want to shift to the left, but let them come back to the center. Inhale now, sweep the right arm back up. Hips can move with you on this one, I don't mind that. Exhale, set the right hand down. Inhale the left arm up. Hips go with you. Exhale, slide the left arm underneath, but this time the hips want to shift to the right, but you bring them back to the center. Press into the right hand. Breathe into that space between your shoulder blades. Wait for your next inhale, and that inhale, it's a big sweep of that left arm back up. Hips can go with you. Exhale, set the left hand down. Now we're going to bring ourselves up onto your knees. So this is the time for the blanket if you need the blanket. If you need to shift the fold, you can. And bring your right knee onto the blanket. If you need it, you might not need it. Bring your left leg forward. So I want you to just focus on squaring the hips right here. This is really subtle. It's actually from the somatic practice. So I want to first of all make sure my hips are square. So my left hip is drawing a little bit back, my right hip forward. Now you're going to pitch and toe your right foot. You're going to turn that right foot in. Again, this is very subtle work. Now, coming back to that square here, start to activate the glutes on the right side. It's almost like I'm also trying to move that right frontal hip forward. Then take the right arm forward and the palms are down like this. The left hand comes to pull the fingers down. It's very subtle. The action is you trying to move your right hip forward. So we're very slowly getting ourselves into the psoas. It's not going to be dramatic, not yet. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then release the hand down. The left hand will come to rest on your left thigh. Reach the right arm up, and then start to reach the right arm over to the left. The hips want to shift with you, but don't let that happen. Keep trying to move the right hip forward as you reach the right arm up and over to the side. Relax the shoulders down. It's tempting for that left shoulder to start to grip. Keep it relaxing down. Inhale, bring the right arm back up, and exhale, bring the right hand down. The left hand comes down, and let's switch. Left knee on the blanket, right leg forward. And then again, I'm just going to take off my socks so you can see what I'm doing here. So you're going to pinch and toe that left foot. Square the hips, the left frontal hip, trying to roll it up, but I'm activating the glutes on the left side. Then take the left arm forward, fingertips down. The right hand comes to pull the fingertips down. And breathe. So the psoas, we've worked on it before. It's the deepest of your abdominal muscles. It's such an important muscle, not only for the integrity of your frame and your radiance, your posture, but it really is your fight or flight muscle, your stress muscle. So especially now, I think it's important that we not only strengthen it, but we bring suppleness and reactivity to it. Now we release, the right hand comes down, the left arm reaches up and over. Keep trying to roll that left frontal hip up towards your face, and that's where you're going to feel that little bit of activation, and you're starting to get into the iliopsoas, which is obviously part of the psoas. And reach it up and float that left arm down. Bring your hands down. Bring both knees back to the blanket, or if you are using it, and cat-cow again. Now the next breath, inhale or exhale, let it bring you back to a neutral spine. Open up your knees a little bit wider, feet together. Relax back into wild child, or pose of the child, and just relax it down. Now this is a great opportunity to do some really good deep belly breathing. So yeah, if it's not comfortable to have your hips up, or hips down, they can be, oh, you've all got it. Nice, good. Nice, Trish. And just breathe into it. Let that belly take up space. Get some good deep breaths here, yeah. So it's focus more on the belly and on the breath. And of course, the low back will get a stretch and some release, and that's okay. Katie, is that okay on your knees?
Feels great.
Okay, good. Hands underneath your shoulders. Let's come back up nice and slow, nice and easy. Coming back in. So now we take the right leg back from all fours. So I do want to activate, I want to squeeze the heel to the back wall. I want to activate that right leg and activate that right side of the gluteal body. So remember how we in class talk a lot about kind of wrapping the glutes in towards the butt crack into that midline. So I want you to find that and use this. Take the opportunity here to sort of just to firm up the tummy a little bit. Press the shoulder girdle down, lift the left arm forward, and then lift the right leg up. Inhale, set the right leg and the left hand down, and exhale, lift it back up. Inhale down, exhale it up. One more, inhale down, exhale it up, and then set the hand and the knee back down. From here, left leg goes back. So again, I want to start by squeezing the heel back. You're going to feel activation of that calf root. Firm up the left leg, drop the left hip, wrap the left side of the gluteal body in and feel that belly draw in. Reach the right arm forward. So really pack the shoulder girdle down. You don't want that right shoulder jutting forward. That whole complex you want stable right here. Exhale, lift that left leg up without dumping into that low back. Inhale, set the hand and the foot down. Exhale, lift it back up. Inhale down. Exhale up. One more. Inhale down. Exhale it up. And wait for another exhale to set the hand and the knee down. Back to cat-cow. Slow. So the thing about getting suppleness in the psoas, keep doing this, and I'm just going to chat a little. The thing about getting the suppleness in the psoas, so much of it has to do with your breath, because the psoas travels through the diaphragm, and it's so incredibly reactive to the nervous system. So we want that ujjayi breath. We want that calm and slow breath. It has so much to do with bringing that suppleness in. And we know from our work that suppleness is strength. The next exhale, bring yourself back to a more neutral spine right here. Move the hands a little bit further in front of you. So you might want to keep the blanket here. You might want to get rid of it or pull it back later when you need it. It's up to you. So the hands come underneath the shoulders. And you've got a real good 4-point stance here. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. You've got a nice, good radiant spine here. And then you're going to squeeze the heels of your hands towards your knees. And I don't want to arch the spine. I want to maintain that radiant spine. Start to activate abdominals here. Squeezing the heels of your hands towards your knees, and the knees squeeze towards the heels of your hands. Keep packing the shoulder girdle down. Get long in that neck. Wrap the back of the head to the ceiling. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then release that. Now, take the right hand a little bit in front of you and draw the right knee in. And I'm going to do this first one on my right side with you, but you'll be able to see me from behind. So hopefully you'll be able to see the nice alignment. So I've got my right hand, my right knee, and then I'm going to swivel my right foot out to the right. It's going to go, the foot's going to go wherever you feel stable. And the left foot comes out to the side. So my left foot, my right knee, my right hand are all on the same plane. And then start to stack the shoulders and look up at the ceiling. And your left hand can just rest at your waist here. Okay? So once you get that set up, now, again, do whatever you need to with that right foot. It's your kickstand. You can put it wherever you need to. And if you don't feel balanced here, well, you all look good. I guess I don't even need to say that. Okay, so now my left hand on the waist looking up. Load more in the lower body, not in the right wrist. Let the lower body take this. Then we lift the left arm up. Gaze up at the left hand. Now see if you can shift more of your weight to the outside of that left foot. Get a little bit of length in the tailbone. And then exhale, bring that left arm up and over into rainbow. Think about lifting the right waist to the left waist. We want to really open up that side body. Glutes are active. Again, the hips are moving a little bit forward. And exhale, come down to all fours, back to all fours. Now the left hand comes in front. Left hand, left knee, right foot, all on the same plane. Left foot goes wherever you need to. If you feel like you need to even move the right foot, you can, but you do want to try to, you're working towards everything being on the same plane. Now we reach the right arm up, look up at the right hand, shift the weight a little bit more to the outside of that right foot. Exhale, lift the left waist to the right waist, bring the right arm over. This is a supreme side body stretch. So we worked a lot last week on just releasing and lengthening in the intercostals and understanding how the relationship of the intercostals, that interplay with the shoulders, the neck, the jaw. So just a bit of reminder here to get that length back into that side body. Breathe into that side body like the gills of a fish. Feel the expansion. Exhale, come back down to all fours. So let's get our hands out in front and let's get ourselves ready for our first down dog. So just play around with that first down dog. Bent knees, bring it up, walk it out, move it out. Keep breathing in it. Yep, great. So remember that first down dog, right? It's not about the heels slamming down. It's about the length in your spine. Exhale to your knees, pose of the child. And then get back into the pose of the child. Again, you can have knees apart, knees together, whatever brings you into the release of the belly. Let that belly go. Really nice, friends. So we know that when we get into pose of the child, there's a little bit of compression on the diaphragm. It's a little bit of a restriction with the breath. So you have to stay a little bit more present with the breath, but it's also a great opportunity to sort of tone the diaphragm. Let's slowly come back up all fours. Let's find down dog one more time. Yeah, nice and easy. Good. Trish, maybe a little more space in your feet, honey, a little bit, like sits bones. Yeah, good, nice. Let that head be free, Patricia, like really free up. There you go, nice. Maybe yes and no, the head a little bit. Just make sure you're not holding on to the neck. That's attention, yeah. Good, nice. Beautiful. Exhale, take yourself to your knees. Come to your knees and then come on to your belly. Come onto your belly. So, pressing into the tops of your feet, so much so that your knees lift. But I really press them. That's so important. People get into this and then their feet start to lift. But when you ground in the tops of the feet, that directs the work in terms of strengthening that low back. So the knees lift, so the quads have an activation. Press the pubis bone down. And then the hands come in front of you, the arms come in front of you in Sphinx pose. So what that means is that the shoulder girdle is pressed down, the elbows are in line with the shoulders, the wrists extend out from the elbows. And then we try to maintain all of that activation, especially of the lower body. And then it's like I'm trying to scoop myself across the room without my shoulders creeping up. Keep pressing the shoulder girdle down and breathe. Becomes almost a pose of endurance here, but it's a really nice place for that back, for the upper body, for the psoas. And then release everything down. Bend your elbows, come into crocodile. Bend your knees. And you can rest the forehead on your hands or rest on one side of the face if that's comfortable. And then just rock your feet side to side. Release that back. And bring the legs back to the center. Lay the legs down, hands underneath your shoulders. Let's come up to all fours. And let's find down dog again. Start to walk your feet to your hands or your hands to your feet, whatever works for you. And coming into a forward fold, let your legs or your feet be as wide as you need them to be. Hold on to your elbows. Let's just sway your side to side. Make sure your head's fully released. Come back to the center. Your hands are on the mat or at your shins. You could even come up with a flat back and have them be above your knees. Inhale, arch it up halfway. That's Ardha. Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Uttanasana. Pitch the weight towards your toes. Make sure the chin is drawn into your throat. Roll yourself up really slow. Let the arms sway side to side here. And as soon as you get the hips forward, start to activate the glutes and then build the spine on that as you come up nice and tall. Good. Now take a moment here. I don't care, again, I really don't care where your feet are. I just want you to feel stable. So we're going to bring the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. If that's not feeling good, you could bring your hands to your waist and draw the elbows back. Okay. So holding it here. And just sort of sway a little bit side to side, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And then we come back to the center. Inhale, flow the arms up overhead. Exhale, cactus the arms. So I'm going to start to grip in my two big toes now. Lift the quads. Feel the crown of the chest lift. The shoulder girdle presses down. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, float the arms up, but keep the shoulders down. And exhale, bring the palms together. Strong belly. Come down, bend your knees, but strong back. Bring yourself all the way down to the floor. Inhale, arch it up halfway. And exhale, plant your hands. Step back to plank. We're not going to be in plank all that long. Wait for an exhale. Your next exhale. Knees, chin, chest. Come onto your belly and come up into a cobra. Same aspects, same foundational aspects as when we were in Sphinx. Curl the toes underneath. Press up. Hips stay in the air for puppy pose. Arms long in front of you. Draw the hands near the shoulders, come up slowly. Okay, so now come up standing on your knees. You've got a blanket if you need it. Take the left leg forward. And come down, bring your hands down, lift the back leg up. So we're essentially in a runner's lunge. So you've got your blocks or your books or whatever you have if you need it. You might not need it, but you have them if you need them. You could bring them on either side of the, you can just sort of frame the left foot with your books or your blocks. So we're squeezing that right side of the gluteal body in, rise up on the ball of the back foot. So it's less the sensation of the hips down like this. It's more kind of getting this sort of scissor action of the legs. So I'm activating the right side of the gluteal body. I'm favoring the inner blade of both feet. Now you're going to pivot to the right. Pivot to the right, and you're going to find yourself in this, yeah, nice. And if you need to scoot your blocks over, you can. And just start without skittering your hands side to side. Just start bending one knee and bending the other. Yeah, make sure the belly is drawn in. So it's easy once we start to focus on the hips to let the belly soften. And we want to be braced a little bit in the abdominals here. Now we come back to the center. Walk yourself over to the right. So now this will be second side. You'll have the right leg forward, left leg back. So remember, this one is less about the hips down and more about that kind of scissoring of the legs, hugging the midline. Rise up on the ball of the back foot. Firm up that left leg. Firm the glutes on the left side. Let me get a look at it here. Oh, that looks awesome, everyone. Katie, is your foot right underneath your knee, honey?
It is now.
Okay. It's good. It's good, Patricia. Nice. Nice, Trish. Okay. So now breathe in this. Try to let the legs take this. Try not to let all the effort dump into that upper body. So if you're too much in the upper body, then you can drop the hips a little bit lower and make sure the legs take over. Okay, good. Now, shift yourself back to the center, over to the left, back to the center, facing the same way. And you're going to just shift again. Move these knees side to side. Coming back to the center. Coming back to the center. Heel toe your feet in. So you're at a wider stance. Hold on to your elbows again and let that upper body just ragdoll down. Okay. So the thing about the psoas, we forget that it starts in the back. So hopefully, oh, these look really nice. Katie, you can flat back, honey, and you can use your blocks if you need them. Yeah. Oh, the flat back looks really good. Looks really good. All right, beautiful. Walk yourselves back over to the left. So you'll just be in that runner's lunge for just briefly for a moment. And then take that left leg back, come to all fours. And find, yeah, nice, all fours now, and find yourself in pose of the child or puppy pose, whatever you feel compelled to do. Really nice, very, very nice. Hands underneath the shoulders. Come up really slow. And again, a few more rounds of cat-cow. But this time, play around with the extremes. Find yourself in full release of the abdominals in cow. And then feel that action of drawing them in when you find yourself in cat. Move slowly. Yeah, nice, nice, Trish. Slowly come back to all fours. Nice. Okay, so let's bring your hands under your shoulders. Draw yourself up nice and slow. Let's come on to our backs. Take your block or your book with you. Okay, so I think Trish probably went to get hers. So you both have blocks. Great. So come onto your back. You have your block with you. Okay, nice. Now let's just take a moment. You know what, do you not have a block, Trish? Oh, you don't need one, honey. I was just waiting to see if you have.
I went to go look for it. I couldn't find it.
That's okay. Okay, so you're on your back, bend your knees, lift your hips up and get that block. You could even use one of the pillows from your couch, Trish, if you wanted to, just to get a little lift.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so that I want you to first just be in that place of decompressing that lower lumbar. So again, that part of your spine that's not on the block and it's not on the mat, breathe space into that. That's important. So we're going to do a little bit of some isolated abdominal work, but I want to make sure that your lower lumbar is decompressed first, because if most of us have compressed lumbar, lower lumbar, and as I'm always saying, it's become the sort of de facto heavy lifter in the body. And I don't want to go into abdominal work when that's with the compression there. So bring some awareness into decompressing there. Okay, now slowly, from that place of decompression, you're gonna lift your hips up and take the block and set the block to the side, okay? And then one bone at a time, come down, all the way down, all the way down. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees out to the side, bring your feet into a Baddha Konasana, and let that help you kind of map this lower spine. Let that help you find the radiance, that natural curve of that lower spine. Okay, once you have found that, keep that as you bring your knees together, as you bring your knees together. Okay, so I'm asking you not to imprint, although I'm going to give you an option if you need to. Now, if you need to hold on to the sides of the mat for this, you can, but I want you to take a moment here and activate the pelvic floor. So the muscles that you would use to restrict urine flow, activate those muscles. Then slowly, on an exhale, you're going to lift the right leg up, keep the knee bent, and inhale, set it down. Without the hips shifting, exhale, lift the left leg up and set it down. Try to stay active in the pelvic floor. It's really slow, and you're lifting your foot like inches, so that you are focused very much on the low belly. Now, that said, as you keep doing this, you keep lifting this really slowly. If at any point you feel like it's too much strain on your low back, or you find that you can't maintain stability, so let me get a look at everybody, then you can imprint. But this should feel, I find this to be really intense. It requires a lot of focus, be really slow coming up and coming down without the hips shifting. Really, okay, these all look good. These all look really good. And maintain that activation of the pelvic floor. So you're seeking the stability here in the pelvic floor. This is one of those, this core work that's so specific. We tend to get sort of seduced by the big, heavy, crunches that are kind of sloppy and everywhere. And the work really is in these finer muscles. Nice. Try not to, the leg doesn't, the foot really is about 4 or 5 inches off the mat. That's how small this is. Okay, good. Nice. Now, after you've done the left leg should be your last one. So you've done it in balance. After you've done the left one, both feet are down. Okay, good. Now, pressing into the heels, activate the pelvic floor, and then start to activate your glutes and lift your hips and pelvis up. So you're going to come into a bridge or a Setu Bandha. Now, look at your knees. Don't let them splay out. You want to keep the knees in line with the hip bones. Now, you don't want to be so high or trying to push up so high that you're pushing your belly out. The belly should be drawn in. Now you're going to do that same marching that you were just doing. Start with the right leg and slowly lift the right leg just a few inches off the mat. Exhale it down. Then, yeah, yep. So actually exhale to lift, inhale, set it down. Really slow. You don't have to lift very high, like a few inches, but that whole foot should come off. And watch, so your hips are off the mat. Trisha, your hips up? I just can't tell from the shadow. Now, yeah, good. So this is a lot of work. I find this really hard. Make sure if you feel at any point like you're pushing your belly out, then you've got to take a break. So let's do the left leg. Left leg will be the last one, and then come down ever so slowly, one bone at a time. Come down really slow. Nice. Yeah. Draw the knees to your chest and do a little bit of rocking side to side. So the glutes, so important. The glutes and the low back, that's what this is all about. So rock it side to side, maybe oscillate your head and neck. I normally don't believe in bringing knees to the chest after doing that work, but I'm making an exception today because I think it'll feel good. Now we come back to the center and set your feet down. You're going to take your block and bring your block to your inner knees. So not inner thighs, inner knees. And then bring your hands behind your head, lift your head, neck, and shoulders up. But now see if you can maintain the neutrality of that low spine. So if you feel like you're imprinting too much, then go back to Baddha Konasana, rediscover it, keep it, bring it here, and reset it. Hands come up. So I want you to activate the pelvic floor. Elbows are wide. You've got a nice lift here. And then from here, just little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And bring the upper body down. And relax. Now draw the legs up into a tabletop. Fully extend the left leg. We did this last week. I think this is good work. Remember, the knees want to migrate in when you get tired, but you want that nice right angle. Hands behind your head, lift up. Squeeze the block. Here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lay down. Switch legs. So the left foot wants to drop. Think about these right angles. Squeeze the block. Lift it up. And then we pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5. Exhale up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down. Bend both knees. Set the feet down. Bring your hands next to you. Still have that block in the inner knees. Then exhale. You're going to peel up. So you're back into a Setu Bandha. So stretching the knees away from you. Wrap the gluteal body in. Feel the abdominals draw in. Relax your shoulders here. And come down slowly. Nice and easy, nice and slow. Draw the knees into the chest. Take your block. Bring the block. Now, Trish, you can use your pillow for this. Bring your block to the low back again. To the low back. This will be a nice stretch. Now, if you're feeling really sassy and you want to maybe come up to the second setting, you can. If you've got a soft block like I do, I find that the support isn't there. But you could use 2 blocks on this number 2 setting if you wanted to. Then if it's okay with your back, so check in. Extend the right leg long and flex the right foot. Flex the right foot. Reach the right arm up overhead. Now reach that right heel forward. This is a nice, beautiful psoas stretch here. It's actually also an opportunity to stretch and release in the abdominals. Bend the right knee, set it in, bring the right arm down. If you need to sort of, reset the block, whatever you need to do, do it. Otherwise, extend the left leg long. The flexion, that dorsiflexion of the foot is important here. And I want to really, like I'm trying to strike with my heel, that left heel forward. And then bring the left arm up overhead. Now I'm going to give you the option to extend both legs out and both arms up. But before you do it, a word of caution, that's not a pose I can do. That doesn't feel good on my back. So if that doesn't, and I could do it for a second to demonstrate it, but it's not, that doesn't always, I have so much lordosis in my spine that this doesn't feel good. But if it feels good for you, take it. If it doesn't, then do what I have to do, which is both arms overhead. And then I just alternate so that I still get that length and that experience of that beautiful psoas length. Now we bend both knees slowly, and let's, little inversion here, just get your legs up. If this isn't feeling good, you're by your bed. If you want to flip around and just rest your legs on your bed, you can. But I want you upside down. Bring your awareness back to your belly, back to your breath. I'm going to just chat with you a little bit while you're doing this. So from, you're all probably psoas experts now because I yammer on about it so much. But even if you're not aware of levels of stress right now, the body it's around us, it's all around us. And the psoas is the fight or flight muscle. It's the muscle that grips when we're in danger. So we have to just sort of trick the body into helping it believe that it's okay. And one of the ways we do that is to bring the soft, subtle movement to the body, but also the breath. So just concentrate on extending the exhale and bringing this lovely surrender. And if it feels like it's too much effort holding the legs up, which it shouldn't be, but if it is, just bend your knees into your chest. You'll still be in a kind of inversion. Slowly bend your knees, set your feet down. Lift your hips and pelvis up and slide that block out. Okay. Open up your feet now as wide as the mat. Knees are bent. Tee your arms out to the side and just start to rock your knees side to side. So that psoas begins, the sort of fingers of it begin in the upper back on both sides of that lower thoracic. And it travels down through the diaphragm and it comes out kind of on either side of the navel into the front of the hips, and then it becomes one of the four quadriceps, actually, the rectus femoris, and that travels all the way down to the inner knee. So I just want you to think of that, the length of that muscle, how gorgeous that is. But I want you to just focus on the front of the hip as you're moving this side to side. So not only are you moving this, you're rocking, and the nervous system is incredibly responsive to rocking. Bring both knees back to the center. Let the right ankle cross over the left knee, but I still want to have that same width. So that left foot is out pretty far to the left. And then both knees fall to the right. And if that's not comfortable, you can go back to just both feet on the floor. So this is not a twist, it's about the front of the left hip. The right foot comes off the left knee. Both feet on the floor, bring both knees back to the center. So recommit, my feet are as wide or maybe wider than the mat. The left foot comes over to the right knee. Then both knees fall to the left. Now the foot comes off the knee. Bring both knees back to the center. Draw the right knee to the chest, extend the left leg long. And take that knee across the body, twisting to the left. So airplane that left arm out if you want. You don't have to. Do whatever feels good with the neck. Stay with that breath here. Release slowly. And bring yourself back through the center, twisting now on the second side. Stay with that breath. And then release back through the center. Happy baby if you'd like to take it here, or one last just drawing of the knees to the chest, whatever. It's your final release of the spine here. Good. And then start to release yourself down now into your Shavasana. So set yourself up in whatever way feels really cozy. Nice. And then scan the body, whatever feels comfortable here. When you scan the body from the top of the head all the way down, when you get into that area of the belly, just linger there a little bit longer. Be assured of its full release. The highest spiritual path is life itself. If you know how to live daily life, it all becomes a liberating experience. But first you have to approach life properly, or it can be very confusing. To begin with, you have to realize that you really only have one choice in this life, and it's not about your career, whom you want to marry, or whether you want to seek spiritual fulfillment. People tend to burden themselves with so many choices, but in the end, you can throw it all away and make just one basic underlying decision. Do you want to be happy? Or do you not want to be happy? It's really that simple. Once you make that choice, your path through life becomes totally clear. So we start to just take a breath here. And before you move anything, take in the experience of the stillness. And slowly start to move your fingers and your toes. Drifting over to your right or left side. And come into your fetal pose and rest in your fetal pose. Stay there. So we always have these opportunities to begin anew. Every time we come into fetal pose, especially after practice, where the practice really is the metaphor for life that culminates in the little death, the Shavasana. It begins anew here in your fetal pose. So in this pose, with the energy of renewal, in the season of renewal, you get to start over. And maybe it's in this place we start to make these decisions about being happy. These choices to be happy. Press into the top hand and come up ever so slowly. Bring yourself up to your cross-legged seated Sukhasana. And that final bit of the metaphor that makes the most sense to me is the practice is life. We meet the difficulties with equanimity. We fall, we get up, we breathe. It culminates in the little breath. We begin anew in fetal pose, and then our first action is bringing the hands to the heart, and that is gratitude. I just think that's the sweetest of all. So we bring ourselves into this place and space of thank you. And it's here we bow. Namaste.
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 Beautiful work, everybody.
Thank you, Shannon. That was great.
Really nice. Beautiful focus. Okay, so I'll see you next Thursday.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. Happy everything. Passover, Chag Sameach, happy Easter. We do both here. So. Okay, loves. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's Trish. Hi, Trish.
Hi, how you doing?
How are you doing?
Good.
That was great, wasn't it?
It was nice. Good stretch. You guys are both there together?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right on.
We've been together ever since this whole thing started.
Yeah.
Want to go?
It's nice to have somebody to share with.
That's good. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And stay safe.
Thank you. You guys too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ugh. Get the bottom one.
When you first started talking to Trish, I thought she was talking to you.
I thought she was.
How did you know that's Gary used to call you?
How do I get out of this? Oh, leave meeting.